Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week we have to cover the Live Letter 29, which just happened this last weekend at Nico Nico Chokagi, as well as a few other tidbits that came out of some of the events they had at the venue. Apologies for my voice in advance, but I am Mr. Happy, and joining me, of course, is Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyakagreyfox, aka you, my boy Blue. How you doing, Slyh?
You say we have to cover like it's a bad.
I was about to mention that. You make it sound like a chore, dude. Like, I don't want to interrupt.
We have to cover.
Guys,
We have to cover.
No, it was more
I'd
like
rather
it was
be in
more
bed,
like
but
it's
we
obvious
have-
we have to
we
cover
have
this.
to.
It's more like it's obvious we have to cover this. Like it's obvious we have to cover this.
You're right.
Yeah, and Ethys is here too.
It's all about the inflection. I mean, there's a difference between we have to cover this and we have to, you know.
Say it like that. My voice is gone. Give me a break.
Hi guys, I'm Ethys. Hello.
Yeah, he's here too, by the way.
Pooh, we have to cover the live letter, Pooh.
mean, we
Okay.
do.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. All
What did you
right.
guys think of it as a live letter compared to the last few?
Man, do I love Yokai Watch. By the way, we're going to be talking about the live letter for about 5 minutes and Yokai Watch for an hour and 55 minutes.
Pretty much.
So you better
for that.
these next 5 minutes, you better like make them really good, because after that, I don't care.
That's what she said.
Wow. Yeah.
It wasn't that funny at this.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I wasn't prepared for that one. That one kind of snuck up on me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about Slyh saying something like legitimately funny. It sneaks up on me.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh.
I hate both of you. Anyway, on that note, we should actually start talking about the live letter itself. So I thought it was a good one. I mean, it's what we expect from part one of a two-parter kind of deal. We always expect, okay, the first one's going to line up all the content, and the second one's going to actually tell us a little bit more. That's just how it's been. You know? It met expectations, and then Yokai Watch.
So, are you saying that your expectations were low for this one?
No, I'm saying my expectations are that Square Enix is very, they're predictable. They're standard when they do this. Part one is always this, part two is always the next thing, and they met those expectations.
I can kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Most of what they talked about in the first half that they had already mentioned in 28.
yeah, we got a little bit of it at PAX East, and then there were a few new details. Other than that, I think it was relatively below average in terms of a live letter. In terms of the information we got, which we knew we were getting. A lot of us knew we were getting, and then Yokai Watch.
That's just how we describe it, and then Yokai Watch. I mean, it adequately describes the live letter. You just say Yokai Watch, and it's like there.
Yeah.
Live letter.
You're talking about the Yokai Watch live letter. Okay.
Yeah, it's not even live letter 29. It's live letter YK.
Yeah.
It's going to be forever remembered.
I guess YW, whichever one, Yokai or Yokai Watch, whatever you want to do. I think I like YK better than YW. YW sounds kind of awkward to say. It's too many syllables.
But this is the live letter before live letter XXX. How you doing?
Yes, it is. Next live letter is the XXX live letter.
All right.
All right, does that mean we have to do that episode shirtless?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have to have Vin Diesel as special guest.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
Vin Diesel, wasn't it? Vin Diesel.
Yeah, it was Vin Diesel, and then for
Yeah.
the sequel was Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would rather have Ice Cube, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
really? You'd rather have Ice Cube than Vin Diesel?
Well, I mean, Ice Cube.
You better
I've been
check
listening to
yourself
Ice Cube
before
as
you
a
wreck
rapper
yourself.
since the 90s.
No.
you know?
All right, chat. Hashtag Vin Diesel, hashtag Ice Cube, go. I expect to see some results.
Let's be honest, neither of those movies were very good.
Hey, man. Vin Diesel is fucking sex on a stick, all right?
I don't want anything to do with him on a stick.
No.
It seems like you do, but still. What about Vin Cube? There we go.
Vin Cube.
Vin Cube. Or Ice Diesel. Alright, there we go. It's pretty even down the board. Alright, so we're going to be talking about patch 3.3 for the most part today. Their information was pretty brief, so ours will probably be too, because we've spoken about this. There's a lot of I told you so's coming for me this time, by the way.
Confirmed. Yeah, I already knew that was coming. So.
I'll tell you the one thing I didn't see coming was the name of this patch. Revenge of the Horde. Noctarogor!
Do we want to mention the little Twitter exchange that happened?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I'm sure everyone's seen that.
Yeah, everyone's seen it at this point. For anyone who hasn't, when World of Warcraft saw the title of patch 3.3, they tweeted a picture of Garrosh Hellscream, or a gif of Garrosh Hellscream from the Warlords of Draenor trailer. It's like, Revenge of the... What? And then Final Fantasy XIV replied, "We're ready," and it was the end of the Heavensward trailer when the main character puts on the Dragoon helmet.
I gotta say, I think that in that showdown, Derplander would be in trouble.
I don't know.
Agreed.
I mean, canonically, the Warrior of Light like kicks anyone's ass from World of Warcraft, but nah, I'm never backing Derplander.
Listen, here's the thing though. I would put Derplander against Thrall, and I would expect him to win. If Thrall beat Garrosh, so. Spoiler. Yeah. If you didn't play Warlords of Draenor, Thrall kills Garrosh, by the way. Spoilers for fucking like 2 years ago at this point. Oh, Ethys. Shut up.
I didn't fucking say anything!
Yeah, you covered your mouth in surprise. That your actions speak louder than words. Yeah. So, I don't know. I thought it was funny. A lot of people thought, like, World of Warcraft was going to sue Square Enix. Like, how dare you? Because World of Warcraft owns the word horde, right?
Yeah. Of course.
Really? Yeah. No, that's the one.
That's never been used before. That's, we haven't been referring to the Dravanian Horde as the Dravanian Horde now for, like, almost a year.
Well, they're going to have to take a number and get in line behind old Power Mate.
Oh, man. And then it was even funnier, because then when they start talking about the next part of the raids, they call it an alliance raid. So everyone's like, Revenge of the Horde? Alliance raids? What's going on?
You just know what's going on. Do you think the World of Warcraft podcasts and
do you think Blizz employees were watching the live letter?
Dude, Blizzard employees play Final Fantasy XIV. That's what you don't know.
Totally.
If there's anything I've learned, it's that employees from all the companies play every other game.
Yeah.
Blizzard employees play Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV employees probably play World of Warcraft.
Don't you dare. That's blasphemy. That is blasphemy.
Ethys plays World of Warcraft. There we go.
Pook plays World of Warcraft.
I know he does. He also plays Final Fantasy XI. That was pretty funny. Ooh. Oh, man. But I thought it was great. Everyone took it pretty seriously. I like it. I like it when companies take jabs at each other like that.
It's good fun. You're right.
Yeah. But it's weird because the Japanese title is very different. It's like The Last Howl. It's a very, very different name from Revenge of the Horde.
It's also a very kind of telling name. The Last Howl.
Very, very spoilerific. The Dragon Song War they did tease would probably end this patch. And that sort of...
But we have explicitly in Japanese The Last Howl. So we're either going to be killing Nidhogg or we're going to be like cutting his tongue out. Either way, he's not howling no more. All right. No howl, no mo.
No mo.
It's kind of strange because in A Realm Reborn we never really got a definitive end to A Realm Reborn. Like we kind of just the whole time we're leading into Heavensward and dealing with different things.
Really?
I mean, well, we kind of got it through Raid. That was the end of that.
That was the end of A Realm Reborn. Was really Coil. Not so much the main story.
Was Coil... I don't know. I feel like Coil was the end of 1.0. I feel like the end of A Realm Reborn was the climax of 3.0 when we kill Laha Brea.
That's fair. But I mean, that's my whole point, though. 2.x never really saw a definitive end. Like, before Heavensward came out, I never felt like A Realm Reborn ever hit a point where it's like, this story's over, the next one's beginning.
Even do you feel like Nidhogg being dead is going to be a definitive end?
I feel like it's a far more definitive end than we got in A Realm Reborn.
Well,
Yeah,
could you really say that it's going to be a definitive end? Because when 4.0 is the reclamation of Alamigo, right? That's connected. That's connected to 2.0. So really, nothing's ended so far. 2.0 really hasn't ended. If we're going to Alamigo next.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. But it's weird for them to say 3.3 will be the climax of the Dragon Song War. And then 3.4 and 3.5 are there to set up the expansion exclusively, not like continue expanding upon Ishgard's troubles. It is actually there to get us ready for the expansion, which is a little bit different than the way it was being done in A Realm Reborn. We were never told, hey, this is the climax of A Realm Reborn until 2.55. And even then, it's like, no shit, it's the climax. You know what I mean? It's a very different approach to be getting it like this.
I don't know how I feel about the developers telling me when I can and can't climax, to be perfectly honest.
How you doing?
You know, it's like no, the climax is
who else is gonna tell you, Ethys? That's my question.
You're right. I need to be told. I need someone to tell me. I'm like, is it now?
Exactly. Is it now?
Is it happening?
So you a little while ago you mentioned Nidhogg,
right?
And then you usually cross-reference that with Estinian, and we got that picture of Estinian in Kurthus,
right?
Possessed. Now we're obviously going to end things with Nidhogg. Does that mean we get Estinian back, or do we lose him completely? What do you think?
That's the big question.
What do you think?
I think I want someone to fucking stay dead, like Iceheart. and
no, bring back legs.
I want people to start staying
for Estinian any day. Estinian is a sack of fucking turnips.
How so?
Sack of turnips.
I mean, you guys know how much I talk about this. All right, the area, we literally carry him. All right, he's just standing there.
He holds the eye. Imagine if he didn't. As soon as he's gone, then we lose. He's carrying us.
He's got two hands. He could have been shanking with the other hand, but he wasn't.
Well, that's only
what coon do you know shanks with one hand?
Probably Ethys himself.
Don't see why I couldn't. I can shank with one hand.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Okay.
How you doing?
You just got to work out your keybinds. It's all good.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Anyway. I don't think we're getting Estinian back. I think that they're going to kind of make it seem like we're about to, and then he's going to be like, no. It has to end like this.
Only for them to bring him back in 4.0.
Yeah, just like, they'll bring back Iceheart and Hoshfont, too, while they're at it, right?
No, just bring back Moon. Please.
And we still and Tiamat's still chilling over there in fucking Slyh, doing God knows what.
Free Tiamat.
Free Tiamat. Yeah, just reminding you of your campaign.
Thank you.
Yeah, we haven't heard much about that in a while, have we?
No, we haven't heard from her.
Given up on T.
Hey, we could have done something. She said no. She was like, no, I'm good here.
It's true.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah.
You gotta respect that.
Yeah, I get 3 squares a day. I'm good.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, then the next thing they brought up in terms of side story missions, and this is my first I told you so. Moogle Beast Tribe quests. I told you so. I told you
Slyh, did you really think
so.
it wasn't going to happen?
People said it in joking. Like,
no, I said it in passing.
We weren't joking.
We're gonna.
We weren't joking.
When are we getting Moogle Beast Tribe quest? Ha ha ha! Like fuck that. No.
And you
I
know
don't know
what
if
my
you guys
favorite
noticed.
happens.
But Marco translated a joke, which is kind of lost on us, I think, is that it seems like Yoshida was actually talking about like reputation, and he's like, yeah, so the Moogle's reputation for like people is really low at the moment. So this beast tribe isn't about us building our reputation. It's about them building their reputation with us.
That means they're going to give us shit, right?
Yeah.
Like off bat.
So they're going to do daily quests for us.
They're going to do daily quests for us, and they're going to give us material.
Yeah, think of it that way, guys. We go to the Churning Mists, and the Moogles are going to do daily quests for us. Okay? Think of it that way.
That would mend a great deal of reputations.
Oh, God, yes. And then, of course, we go back to Durgan Daycare in the Forlands. It might not be in the Forlands. It might.
No, it's going to be. I think it's all going to be in the mists. We saw the screenshot we got was very clearly the Churning Mists in the background. it looks like the Muggles have started to build up a bit of the landlord colony again.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought was really interesting is we actually saw a Templar there hanging out as well.
Yeah.
So, cool.
Well, I mean, I called Muggles and Dragons. I just called them in different patches, but I did say 3.3 would be Muggles.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this one.
But still, Durgan Daycare is better than Muggles.
And then we have Goblins probably in 3.4, and then we probably have Allied Heavensward Beast Tribe Quest in 3.5.
Sure.
You're welcome in advance. While we're talking about Beast Tribe Quest, did you guys see that on the forums they posted today? They're buffing the 2.x reputations, finally.
Oh, really?
The rate at which you gain... You get more reputation per daily quest from the Realm Reborn ones.
I can get down with that.
Yeah, probably to get people up to the tier 4 materia stages a little bit fast. Especially in anticipation of the next Anima quest. Probably.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been doing Beast Tribes. And the only ones I have left are Kobolds and Sahagin. They're all at 3 right now, so they're almost done.
I'm interested to see how much it's buffed by.
Now, joking question: Do you ever think they'll attach Anima or any optional thing to Ixals?
No.
Okay.
No.
Although I would like to see Ixals get some sort of buff in some way. Like I feel like even for leveling, they've kind of fallen down in significance. They used to be a great way to level, and I feel like most people will just go the supercraft method at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see them get a little love. Maybe at the same time the goblins get implemented. Make goblins for leveling 50
now,
to
do
60.
either one of y'all have your Ixals like maxed or anything?
No, mine are pretty close. Mine are pretty close.
Yeah, I've got mine maxed.
Do you get materia? Do you get gathering or crafting materia for? Okay, so
they might do that, but I think they actually said they didn't want to do that with the Ixal. They didn't want it.
They said they're going to implement some way to get level 4 crafting materia, but they said it wasn't going to be the Ixal. So
yeah,
okay.
So, I think I wouldn't be surprised if the goblins end up Heavensward's equivalent of the Ixal in that it's about crafting.
I would like to see the goblins actually have their stories intertwined with the Ixals, because the Ixal never really got a definitive end. We kind of got more information from the Fractal Continuum regarding them and what their actual origin was, but they never got an actual conclusion. Like, they never got the answers they were actually looking for.
We didn't bother to go back and tell.
Oh, by the way, you're all fake.
You guys are monsters.
Yeah. You guys are all just not real people.
Yeah, you're not real people.
There you go. But yeah, Muggles, great. To be honest, I still haven't touched the Vath because they don't give materia, so I don't give a shit. Anyway,
to give lore.
Yeah, give a
because I need more lore.
They give a Kangamato, and they're so easy. It's so easy to finish. Why haven't you?
They're all easy to finish. That's why I do the ones that give me materia. Did you just call me weird?
They give weed.
They give weed. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
just don't turn in the quest. Just stockpile all of it.
Stockpile the weed.
Yeah. Never deliver it.
And then maybe you can sell it for a high price.
There you go.
How you doing?
There you go. All right. So then we had the other new side story quest, the new Anima weapon quest. And to be fair, I actually am more curious at this point for the Anima weapon story than I am at the weapon itself. I don't know about you guys, but I'm more curious about the story at this point than I am the actual weapon.
I'm curious about both, but more the weapon than I am the story, because I actually want this weapon my weapon to be a whole lot better than what it has been.
No more skill speed.
Yeah.
And it will be, because you're gonna have to. You're gonna be modifying the stats this time. You're still gonna need materia. They clarified you just won't need Alexandrite. You'll still need materia for this.
And you won't fail with the materia.
And you won't fail with the materia. That was the big thing.
Yoshida said that we weren't going to be failing with the materia, but he also said that there were going to be multiple avenues to raise our stats. So I'm suspecting at the moment that materia is going to be the fast track. But most people are going to be able to do a combination of materia and some other kind of grinding.
Maybe. That's quite possible. Based on that, I kind of agree. Multiple avenues could also mean, spirit bonding versus doing the diadem, which is getting an update this patch. They didn't mention it, but diadem is getting a major update every major patch.
That's
until
true.
the expansion. So Diadem could be one route. The Beast Tribes could be a route. Void Arc Weekly is another route. Like those can be technically considered separate routes on top
That's
of
true. That's true.
The way things are being done.
Speaking of the story, though, what aspect of the story are you interested about? Are you interested about what the anima is, or are you interested about the whole what is it that's gripping you?
The voice. I want to know. I want to know who the voice belongs to.
Now, are you currently subscribing to the theory?
Yes, I am.
That it's or chiffon or ice heart,
depending on which you picked. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think of that, Sly?
I wasn't subscribed to that theory, but I'm curious how you came to that conclusion that it was either Hoshfon or...
Well, it was just a theory floating around.
People were just saying that literally because you had to choose between it being a male and female voice, and they were like, ooh...
Those are the two dead people.
Yeah, two dead people whose essence we've had some...
Okay, you say two dead people, but we've... Again, moon. Possibility.
We're going to the moon eventually. I get it, but
no, Moon Breda.
No, she's fine.
No, Moon Breda's old news. I'm sorry.
They literally have not mentioned her in fucking forever, and Yordion J is still on the warpath regarding her. She is going to come up again, but he's still on the warpath for her.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool to have a way to bring back one of those characters as our weapon. But at the same time, I'm sort of thinking like how that would work in the sort of Heidelin logic, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it would, because there's an awful lot of other bits of people's and creatures' souls in those weapons, other than presumably one of theirs, and I don't see how one of theirs is going to end up dominating. But I guess we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, there's literally nothing to say that it could be either of them. It's literally a crapshoot.
Wishful thinking.
It's an actual crapshoot. So there's nothing to base it on. But I don't know. Are you guys ready? Do you guys have your 210s, your 230s?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got your 230s? Good. I'm glad, because I'm looking forward to this. Do you think we're going to have anything inside of the Deep Dungeon at any point for Animus? Not here, because 3.35 is Deep Dungeon, but do you think
I don't really think they will attach anything to Animus, in new content like that so quick.
Why not?
I don't know. It's brand spanking new content, something really unique. I mean, to kind of hype it up a bit, yeah, I could see it.
That's what
well, I mean, but here's the thing. I'm not saying it 3.3, because 3.3 is before Deep Dungeon. Deep Dungeon is not until 3.35. But I'm saying before the expansion, I'd like to see maybe something involving Deep Dungeon and the Anima weapon. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I could agree with you there. Far, far off future.
Yeah. We'll get to Deep Dungeon. Sly and I spoke about it, but we'll be getting your thoughts on it at this, because we got a few more definitive pieces of information about Palace of the Dead. So we'll move to that. And then we got that screenshot of Gigi on a Lalafell body, which was the strangest thing I've ever seen regarding Hildibrand.
Now that was, I feel like he's sort of following Godbert. He's sort of idolizing Godbert, because he's stripped down to his undergarments as well. And I don't think that's an incidental thing. Seeing them both together there in their,
The tight whities.
Yeah. I think he's basically worshipping Godbert, and I think we're gonna have a story of Gigi sort of coming to realize himself as a Mandeville man.
You think he'll do the dance?
We're gonna have to teach him the ways of the Mandeville man.
The real question is, though, is this going to be a 15-minute quest again?
No.
Now, they said they were going to make it longer. They were going to try to make it longer. But, realistically, how long is it going to be?
I don't think it's going to have an instance attached to it.
No.
But, yeah, I think it's going to be maybe twice as long.
I'm wishful thinking. Hoping that there's an instance. Something. But
the ooh, you think the ooh is gonna be that?
No, the ooh.
The ooh is one of the warring triad, and it's another thing.
It actually said normal and extreme. The ooh normal.
Oh, that
extreme.
one.
Yeah.
I reckon that's Nidhogg.
No, I don't think it is. I think Nidhogg might be part of the main story. I think we'll probably have a trial with him. But no, because it said normal and extreme, so I fully expect both of those to be Zervan.
I want an extreme Nidhogg.
I absolutely see. Here's the thing: A Realm Reborn didn't give us many bosses. We wanted a Mitchell's Ballad version of. Heaven's Ward has been chock full of them.
That's true. Yeah.
I would have loved one against Ascian Prime. We wanted one against Thornton, and we got it. Yeah. Nidhogg is one we absolutely want. And then we're anticipating, I think one more. There was one more I was anticipating. The Warriors of Darkness. People want a real fight against the Warrior of Darkness, too. Not sort of a, hey, trial, like, whatever, you know.
That's just going to be a fucking mini grand
I have a feeling Warriors of Darkness isn't going to be resolved until 4.0 or 4.1, maybe. And then maybe we'll get a Mitchell's Ballad version of them then. But we need a real fight against the Warriors of Darkness, not like just a straight, not like a fucking Chrysalis.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you really think that this one's going to be Zervan?
I think it's going to be Zervan and then Sophia.
So why censor it?
They don't. They said they didn't know the name yet. They didn't know what they were calling it.
They didn't know what they were calling Zervan yet.
Well, they didn't know what they were calling the Containment Bay S1T7.
Yeah, sure, but you think they would have still said, "Oh, it's going to be the next Warring Triad."
Maybe. It's hard to tell. That was the other thing that led me to think maybe it was Nidhogg, but we're not going to go without a Triad this patch. They're not going to do that.
No, we're not. Yeah. I don't know. I reckon why can't we have two extremes in one patch? We've had it before.
Yeah. We had three.
Yeah, exactly.
And an Ultima hard mode.
Yeah, so I don't think it's entirely out of the question.
I would love for there to be a Nidhogg rematch here as well with the Ballad, but I don't see it happening. Maybe in 3.4 or 3.5. There's also another fight I'm expecting in 3.5 that we'll talk about a little bit later. That smile was really scary, by the way. Really scary. But the next thing they spoke about were the dungeons.
Okay, cue up. Hap was right, number one. Get that out of the way.
All right, Hap was right, number one. Hullbreaker hard mode.
Yeah.
I will say this.
To be implemented in the way that it is? Were you expecting it to be taken over by the Maelstrom?
Oh, no. I had no expectations. I just knew we were going back there. I didn't think we were going to fight the Kraken again.
Of course we were going back there.
It's going to be... Then we're going to have Snowcloak, but 3.5 is not going to be Keeper of the Lake hard mode. That's not going to happen. Yeah. That would be really dumb if we went back there again.
I'm trying to think why we could possibly go back to Snowcloak.
I don't know. Maybe there's something there. I mean, it's literally a chasm of just shit. I don't know.
Chasm of shit.
People hide there. That's why we went there the first time. People were hiding there.
So someone else is going to be hiding there.
Someone else is hiding there, pretty much. Yeah.
Sweet.
So
it's literally just like.
Is that what we're calling it? Fenrir was hiding.
Yeah, Fenrir was protecting the people who were hiding. For some reason. And now he's a mount. Anyway.
And now he's a mount.
Right. And then we had Sorkai.
Sorkai actually looked interesting.
It looked as interesting as a 4-man dungeon's ever going to look, pretty much. Yeah.
Especially the end. I guess that was the end. Where they showed a little centerpiece, I guess. If you had screenshots of it. I'm just curious as to what could be there, why we are going there.
What could be there? All right. Well, it's in the Churning Mist. You can very clearly see Zenith in the background of one of those screenshots. So I'm assuming that it's on the far side of Zenith. Now, I was asking Marco about this the other day, and he said the Japanese title for it is Palace of the Sky Dragon. We have that. And we also have, obviously, the dragon speak name, Sorkai, basically translates as sad apology. So I was kind of thinking that it's maybe going to be some sort of sacred place in regards to the original Saint Shiva. I think this is where Horace Velga is hanging out. I think that we're going to be going through Sorkai in order to sort of connive or convince Horace Velga to finally take a stand against Nidhogg.
Yeah, whatever we're going there for, I agree. It's to combat Nidhogg because we literally can't beat him otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is when you look at the Heaven's Ward trailer, you see what looks to be the Dravanian horde attacking Heaven's Ward,
Yeah.
and a lot of those dragons look to be of Hraesvelgur's brood. Is the strange part. I don't know if that was an unintentional design decision that they had when they made that trailer.
But
I
why
can't-
would we be fighting Hraesvelgur's?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was extremely odd to see how many of those dragons resembled Hraesvelgur's brood.
Now, could it be that we're fighting over Ishgard and Hraesvelgur's brood is on our side?
It's very possible.
Right.
Especially considering Estinian is in Korthus, and you'd imagine that the fight is taking place around Ishgard itself.
Yes. Now, that screenshot, I was trying to work out exactly where that was. The screenshot of Estinian, I mean.
Yeah.
I was looking around Coerthas Western and Coerthas Central. I couldn't find any sort of vista that looked like it. I think it's probably actually on the Steps of Faith.
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah. So I think that's where we're going to be seeing that.
Yeah. Oh, see, okay, apparently Yoshi P commented on the trailer and saying that they actually were showing the wrong dragon in the trailer.
Yeah.
So we can't take that too much verbatim. But that battle is something I fully anticipate happening this patch, even if it's not as grand as the trailer's version.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm just curious if it's going to be a legit trial against Nidhogg, or if it's going to be like, you and, Amaric and, a bunch of Ishgardian knights versus Nidhogg versus an actual trial against Nidhogg.
Amaric's still recouping.
Those would be pretty cool. But
Amaric's also an idiot, and he will fight anyway.
He's still recouping, so I don't think he's that stupid. No.
He's pretty
Amaric's
stupid.
a boss, dude.
Yeah. He's pretty hard-headed. He was like, you just got stabbed. I'll participate in the Grand Melee. Fuck it.
Yeah. YOLO.
Yeah, he YOLO'd it.
He doesn't realize he has Lucia to do these things for him.
Yeah, he hasn't worked out that Lucia can cast Cure.
Yeah.
He's over here thinking, oh shit, this Garland, she can't help me out. I got this stab wound. And then we get into the Grand Melee and Lucia's like, ah, lol, I can cast Cure.
Oh my god. I wonder what the lore behind that is. I mean, she's a paladin, obviously, but...
Well, she's Garland, and they're not supposed to be able to channel magic so good. So I'm waiting for Koji to tell us something about that.
Are we sure that wasn't Clemency Hill?
I'll
or
get
that
on his
was
ass
Cure?
about it next time he's at a convention, which is not very often.
Well, at the moment, I'm using that as evidence of Unukalhai still possibly being Garland. Yeah.
I'd buy it. I
Yeah.
still expect 3.5 to be Tower of Gods, so...
Sure.
Yeah,
do it.
That's still my prediction. Cure is easy. It's a little-
Well, I mean, that's true. That's true. But we have been quite explicitly told by Garlands that Garlands have no capability of channeling ether. So I guess we have to amend that and just say they're not particularly good at it.
Yeah, and that's... But yeah, the only reason why a lot of the soldiers can is because they're converts. Yeah. So... but
Yeah,
she's not a
exactly.
convert.
All of the mages we see have been, they're from parts of the world that have already been conquered and brought into the fold.
Yeah, they're not pureborns like Lucia and Livia are. Then we get our first real footage of the Weeping City of Mhach. Which, by the way, so in Japanese it's Mhach, and in English it's Mhach. Apparently.
Now, have we had a hard confirmation? Have we heard it pronounced in
Yes,
English?
Koji announced it at the PAX East panel, I believe it was.
Right. Because I missed that, because this has been bothering me since we first started seeing it. I'm like, is it Mhach? Is it Mhach?
Miyachi, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Mahachi in Japanese, and it's Machi in English.
Machi. All right.
Yeah.
So we've got that hard confirmation. Any Ethys video you see before this date where I say something other than Mhach, get off my back, all right? We didn't know.
We didn't know. Now we know the Weeping City of Mhach. It is beautiful, like they generally are.
It is huge.
Yeah, I kind of wish they just let us make it a zone. Don't fucking.
I thought it was going to be. When they first started showing shots of it, I was like, oh, awesome, they're going to add a new zone, which is going to be the Yafam Saltmoor, and then the instance is going to be like in there somewhere, but no.
That would be crazy if they did that.
That would be insane.
I wonder if they've ever considered that, adding a zone and then sticking a new instance inside of that zone mid-expansion. I know it's a lot of work.
I wish they would. I wish they'd done that here, and I wish they'd done that for the where a mega weapon is. Why have I forgotten the name of that?
Cartno Flats.
The Cartno Flats. Thank you. That would have been awesome. But
Eh.
eh.
Meh. Yeah, noises.
But-
But either way,
Now we just recently got something via the dev blog showing a little bit more of the Weeping City.
yeah, those
And-
crocodiles, man.
I know, man.
Highlight.
Yeah, we
Nothing
got
else was there.
Crocodiles.
Damn.
Not those weird coercive.
Damn, nature, you
crocodile
scared me.
Pretty much. Nature was very scary. If I ran into a crocodile like that, I'd just give up. I just climb in its mouth, be like, make it easy, please.
But the main thing that probably
No, there was
everyone
nothing else. There's nothing else.
Really?
You don't need-
Really?
No,
No.
it's-
Yeah, fam, Saltmore
Not,
is
not even that last picture. Not. No, we're not.
Not-
we're not
nothing.
gonna touch that.
Nothing.
We're not gonna touch on how that looks like Ozma.
No, no. There's no way.
No.
That's nothing like that.
No, it's not. That's not Ozma. No,
No,
it's Ozma, guys. It's fucking
It's
Ozma.
probably
it's
Ozma. That's
It's
probably Ozma. So he's a 24-man boss. How does that make you feel?
Well, he
Well-
was a super boss.
Yeah. Okay. So Sly, for people who aren't particularly familiar with Final Fantasy IX, because I don't think he's had any other appearances, has he? Who the hell is Ozma, and why are people getting so excited about it?
So Ozma was a really bullshitty super boss in 9.
Really bullshit. Why is that?
Bullshit.
Amazingly bullshitty.
Like,
Okay.
he had a one-shot pretty much, if I remember correctly.
Meteor.
Curse.
Meteor is a
Yeah.
one-shot.
It was a one-shot.
Yeah. It's literally the entire...
It was, like, that fight is so RNG.
Literally the entire point of your encounter with him is to make sure he has as many attacks he can use so he doesn't cast Meteor ever. If he casts on the first turn, you pretty much are dead if you don't have auto life. It's
Right.
ridiculous. And on top of that, his ATB gauge, the way it works, as soon as you target him with a skill, he'll act. It fills. Before you execute the action, he will perform an action.
Jeez.
Pretty much. So he's an
Jeez.
asshole. He's a really
Alright.
big asshole.
Okay.
So
And how do we think that fight's going to play out? Because obviously they can't do something like that to us in a 24 man. Right? No, they fucking would. I mean, I'm expecting it to be maybe something like King Behemoth.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, where you would have to, like, hide behind something or die. I think it would be a little more complex than, hiding behind the meteor to avoid something. There would be something else involved, magic-wise, that you would have to do.
Doomsday. Well, maybe we have to get all the friendly animals. Part of Final Fantasy IX, he's unreachable with melee attacks unless you do the friendly critters side quest, and then you can reach him.
Now, do you think they would ever add a mechanic to any content, whether it be 24-man or just regular dungeon content, where you had to do something early in the dungeon that would affect the final
Even
boss?
if they did, they'd make sure you couldn't progress without doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, like if the early part is for you to free a bunch of native machis and they end up being animals like Kochi, then it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if Kochi is a machi, then the other one's got to look pretty fucking weird too, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Although
imagine.
Koshi is kind of like a carbuncle sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like a native
A carbuncle
creature.
that can talk?
It's like it's like a weird kind of void sent carbuncle sort of thing, as far as I'm concerned. It's not like a naturally occurring creature by any means.
Well, either way, Ozma. And what was even stranger was when they kind of did what looked like the last boss teaser. It didn't look like Diablos, but it was standing in the Diablos way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it had tentacles.
Yeah.
It had 4 tentacle things. It had very long toenails. It had purple skin.
So
Now
does that
I
sound
was,
like Skothic?
I mean, it could be. It could be Skothic.
That would be really strange for Skothic to be
Yeah, to be now as opposed to the next one.
Unless Diablos ends up like taking all the shit over and he becomes the last boss.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really cool if Diablos was sort of playing Skuthic all along and wanted whatever it is that she's got all to himself. That would be pretty sweet. But I mean, perhaps you and I, we were both half expecting to see Diablos as the last boss of this one, right?
Oh yeah, I was fully anticipating Diablos to be the last. If not the last boss here, he would be the second to last boss.
In the next one, yeah, exactly.
Fortress of Shadows,
So,
yeah.
I haven't looked through previous Final Fantasy bosses and like cross-referenced it with those little screenshots we saw of whatever this boss is, but I think it's quite possible that it is Skuthic.
Yeah, and the chat has suggested maybe it's just the final cutscene that we're seeing, and that she doesn't actually appear as a boss. She appears.
Yeah,
as...
that's all. Yeah, sure, that's also possible.
Yeah. So either way, this was a lot of good work. I have to question though: is it worth making the raid look this grand, or is it worth putting more effort into other things, like maybe making the outside a playable zone versus?
Well, that's the thing, is that they've put so much work into it. It's so huge. I don't see why. Like, how much work would it be just to make it a zone? At least that outside Saltmore part.
I don't know. I mean, that's an honest question here regarding development. Is it worth making something so big?
Yeah, for only one instance.
But how many complaints have we gotten in the past of how bland, Crystal Tower was? Or
I don't remember that many complaints about Crystal Tower being
Crystal
bland.
Tower?
That was grand in scale without feeling like it was too much. World of Darkness was a lot of blank space, and it was still
but it's
very
supposed to be because
aesthetically
it's the
pleasing.
void.
Yeah. I mean, if they're gonna make a zone this big and make it this visually appealing, I'd like to see it in more than just.
Yeah, we'd like to be able to take the time to explore it, have some sightseeing logs, maybe some side quests associated with Mhach.
Yeah, I would absolutely love that. I mean, maybe this is feedback we need to be giving them. If you're gonna dedicate this many resources, let's get a full zone out of it, and then you stick the raid just inside one of the parts.
Because you've already done all the assets. I mean,
yeah.
None
it's
of
just
us
a matter of.
But surely it's not,
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know what they'll do with it because this is a huge zone for it to go all to one thing. I just hope it's not the last we see of the city of Mhach. Although I have a feeling it will be for quite some time. This is probably trying to wrap up the majority. By the way, since we were talking about Ozma before, in Final Fantasy IX, Ozma is an Eidolon who has been lost for such a long time that no one remembers him, therefore he cannot take shape. That is Ozma's story. He was forgotten in time and he cannot take shape. That is why he is an orb. Why do we think that Ozma is an orb in this case? Is it just void energy? Is it just because the Weeping City has been forgotten for so long?
So that kind of goes back to a conversation we've had at this a while back in terms of the primals being the manifestation of our thoughts and our quote-unquote prayers in a way. So Ozma kind of works around that sort of theory.
Well, it could be a primal if we had something like, in Dalamud, for instance, or with Sephiroth, the Allergans have kept in stasis a bunch of these worshippers so that their willpower makes sure that the essence stays intact. Now, if you had something like that going on, but they'd forgotten what their god actually looked like, then maybe we could have something like Ozma. That could be going on here, but I don't think it will be because that's not really the Mhachi style. I think it is still going to be a void set, and I don't think they are going to explain it. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll explain it with like a triple triad card or something like that. But
maybe
I think it's going to be an afterthought, to be perfectly honest.
It was worth asking about.
Definitely.
I
Absolutely.
hope. Absolutely. Very into it at this. All right.
It's a law. What do you expect? I'm not gonna be like,
absolutely. But the way, absolutely.
So the next thing they talked about was the Aquapolis.
I love this name, Aquapolis.
Aquapolis.
It sounds like a kid who can't pronounce an Acropolis, and they call it an Aquapolis.
It sounds like a Joyzy.
Hey man, what up? I'm at the
I was
Aquapolis.
really about to
What's
say
going on,
Aquapolis.
man? Yo, I'm chilling at the Aquapolis today. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
I got some spaghetti and meatballs at the Aquapolis today. Come on.
So these are treasure hunter dungeons, and you can occasionally get them when doing a dragon.
1 in 5. 1 in 5 chance of the door appearing.
Yeah.
With a time-worn dragon skin map.
and up to 8 players may enter. I think you can go in like with less.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you can quote unquote go in with less, but that would basically mean you open the dragon skin map with less people. That's what the equivalent is of it. You know?
And you have to defeat all the enemies to get the items. And the rooms that are in the Aquapolis are based on RNG, so some of them won't open. Which is a pretty neat
that's
mechanic.
their way of making a random dungeon that's not actually laying out differently.
Right.
Pretty much. It's the same layout every time. It's just the order of the rooms you go through is different.
Right.
We haven't just said that the order of the rooms we go through will be different. They said that the number of rooms that will be available to us is going to be random. So maybe 1 room's open, maybe 2, maybe 3. It's completely
Just walk into the next room and the treasure chest is there. No enemies.
Yeah, could be.
And some of the enemies will kind of work like the Lev quest enemy, to where they would run away and try to get to reinforcements. This one's gonna try to run away, and you have to. If you fail to stop it, it'll prevent you from getting treasure, which is a neat little thing. It made me think of Lev quest when you did Levs and an enemy would try to run away to get to reinforcements, and if you killed it, there were no reinforcements. But if you don't kill this one, you don't get any treasure.
The only difference is that this one is going to have a Jersey accent.
He's gonna be like, "Hey, come on, follow me. We're going to Aquapolis
Come
right
on,
now.
come on, come and get it. Come and get it. Come and get the treasure. You want the treasure? Come on.
You fucking guy, you." There we go. Aquapolis. Think of Elmer Fudd saying it. Very, very quiet. I'm hunting Aquapolis.
Very quiet. I'm hunting the Aquapolis.
Oh man, this is just a really fucking fancy way of saying, hey, there's maps, do them.
Do maps.
Like, it's no different than fucking doing a dragon.
Like, people weren't
It's
doing maps
really,
to begin with. I mean, I haven't done a dragon skin map in ages, but there's still a good way to get materials to either use or put them on the market board. Good way
now,
to
if you're not already doing maps, is this going to motivate people to go and do maps? Because I've been feeling that people will be like, "Oh, cool, I haven't done this before." I might do like 1 or 2, and then they get into the Aquapolis, and they're like, "Come on."
There you go.
I don't think it's going to get a whole bunch of new people doing maps.
I feel like it's reminding people maps exist.
Sure. Yeah.
More than
I
anything.
agree with that.
Now
Really, dragon skins. Excuse me. Dragon skins have not been as popular as wyvern skins because of the Anima quest. I'm curious if they're gonna stick the 210 items for the Anima, the HQ King's Cakes and shit, in this one.
Do you think we might get like new, minions from this?
Of course, there'll be new minions, new glamour, fucking red script items, bullshit. Stuff for the new recipes. They're gonna implement new recipes that people do for a week, and then that's whatever.
Yeah. Spray tan recipes.
Yeah, spray tan. What?
We're really hitting this Jersey thing.
Spray tan. I didn't know that Jersey was so well known for its Aquapolises.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aquapoli, if you will.
Yeah, that's the one. The thing that really interests me with these, and the thing that's going to motivate me to do them, honestly, is that it looks like this place is either Sildian or Belladine.
Yeah.
So, is it going to be able to appear anywhere? Is it only going to be able to appear in Thanalan? I don't know.
Well, dragon skin maps only unlock in Heavensward zones.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that I was kind of confused by it. I'm like, but that does look like explicitly Belladine. So, who knows? Maybe they got around a bit further than we thought. Maybe they've got these little caches around the place. Anyway, I hope there is some sort of lore explanation for why it looks the way that it does.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we have to do a quest before we can open up Aquapolis.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, now you're just looking for excuses to say Aquapolis.
I mean, I am, because I love the nerd. It makes me think of that fucking Flash game, Quap. Where you're the dude who runs down the thing with QWOP.
And you can only get, like, even if you were decent, you only get, like, 1.5 foot or so.
You just do backflips by accident. Over and over again.
You got -1 meter.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I definitely don't want to play Quap when I go into the Aquapolis. That's definitely not something I want to do. I wonder if you try to say so. Aquapolis. No, see, you gotta say it Quap. It's not Aquapolis. You know?
Yeah, it's Aquapolis.
It's Aquapolis.
Yeah.
Fucking what a name. What a name. Speaking of underground dungeons, then we got Deep Dungeon, which was mostly a rehash of the PAX East panel with a few extra details thrown in there. Ethys, we haven't heard your thoughts on Deep Dungeon.
Yeah.
My thoughts on Deep Dungeon. Now, we heard mentioned that the deeper we go, the sort of scenery, the environment's going to change.
Yeah.
We start in a very explicitly Amdapori setting.
Right.
Like it's sort of repastes from Amdapor Keep. And then as we go down, we're up in Gelmoran Dungeon. And we're seeing sort of bits of Totorak and stuff like that. So I'm really interested here to be getting some more Gelmoran lore in particular. There is also they were telling us that there's going to be like some special bosses on certain floors and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why not Edda?
Yeah, I thought Edda was going to make a resurgence here as well.
I mean, it's as good a place as any.
It really makes no sense for Edda to show up in something that could potentially be an endless thing.
No, this is not endless. He explicitly mentioned a final floor this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said there's a boss on the final floor.
And there's no, I feel like, I don't know if they confirm this, but I've got the impression that the sort of floors are somewhat randomized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they did.
Things that we encounter and stuff like that. So I'm just suspecting that there's like a rare chance to encounter Edda at any given point.
I would buy it.
Yeah, I'd be way into that.
I'd subscribe to that.
Yeah. So that's what got me excited about it more than anything.
Now, Ethys, I thought it would appeal to your solo bullshit side like it did to mine.
My solo bullshit side?
Yes!
Excuse me?
Yes!
Excuse me? Do you want to extrapolate on that? What's bullshit about my solo?
That's what I've called it. That's what I've termed it. For me, it's just the solo bullshit that
Sure.
you do. You know,
That's really
kinda-
rude. You've hurt his feelings.
I'm sorry, but that's just what I've been calling it. It's not bullshit. It is actually fun.
The only solo bullshit is if you're going summoner, scholar, or warrior. Then it's bullshit. All right? Doing it with Dragoon,
That's why I do it on Astro.
that's serious.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is great fun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Go solo your dungeons, everyone. It's good fun.
But the thing is, this is not a dynamic difficulty dungeon.
No.
It is designed for 4 people.
Yes, but they have said at the same time that it will be doable with 1, which tells me that at least to start with, at least the early floors are going to be absolute.
Well, yeah.
fresh.
What do you can't fucking even generate enmity at level 1. So, you know what I mean? Like you don't get Savage Blade till at least 2. So
Sure. Yeah. That's true. The other thing we saw in there, we've got these different totems, right? They're telling us that there's going to be. Well, we know for starters that we've got our special weapon that we get in there, that funny little light weapon, which is going to sort of advance as we advance. And they said there's going to be specific items and stuff like that. There's also going to be specific buffs that we see in there. And we saw one paladin sort of attuning to one of these totems or altars or whatever. And it was an altar of Nothika. So it seems that we're going to have different altars dedicated to like each of the 12, and that we're probably going to have like buffs that are associated with them based on what that member of the 12 is all about. So Nothika is abundance. So what could we get from abundance as a buff? Maybe
EXP.
Maybe increase the XP generation, maybe increase drop rate, maybe increase like TP or MP regen. And then we've got the Earth side, which makes you think it's going to be sort of a defense up buff.
maybe.
But then again, they said some of these would be traps. So if there would be any debuffs to come from the 12, which would
Rogga. It's just like instant KO. You just like
Touch it and you just die. Odin comes out and just fucking slices you in half.
I mean, the alternative is that we could have, them for the 12, and then we could have other ones with symbols of like different void scent and stuff like that. And like you have to know sort of your Aeolsian lore 101 to know which ones you can mess with and which ones you shouldn't.
But what if they're debuffs and then it's a 50-50 chance that it's on you or the enemies? So you have to decide, like, what if it's if I click this, it's this buff very clearly, but there's a chance I give it to them.
But if you get a debuff, I mean, couldn't you just wait it out, or is it going to persist?
No, it would probably persist for the whole floor, I'd imagine.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, it looks like there's some really interesting, unique mechanics in there. We're going to be picking up stuff in there which we can only use in there, and we're going to be picking up stuff in there which we can use presumably as glamour and whatnot else outside. But they're saying that they're kind of catering to the hardcore crowd.
Sort of. They said it's not going to be difficult, but that if you're hardcore, that you can like compete on leaderboards and shit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
How much do we kind of believe that? Like, how much is the hardcore?
No, it's going to be a fucking joke. I'm going to beat that shit day one.
Right. Exactly.
But again, and Hap, we were talking about this on the PAX episode, where I feel like they're shifting towards more of that competitive side of this.
Yeah, they absolutely want people competing against each other, and it's proven effective in the feast. There's a lot of people feasting nowadays, and it's proving an effective means of enjoying
and
the game.
They surely know from like FF logs and stuff like that that the competitive spirit is as alive, if not more so, in the PvE side of things.
It's just that they want to control it themselves instead of FF logs, which can go either way.
But it's still something. Like, the question is, when people do PvP, they do it because they know that a lot of the rewards are limited time. There's a lot of bragging rights. I don't know that this necessarily is worth a lot to those kind of people.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know how much replayability this is going to have.
Unless you want to try and solo it on all the jobs.
Sure. But I mean, do we think that this could be a way to level our class outside the dungeon as well? Do you think we're going to get experience that contributes to our progression?
So I'm curious on that, because you need to be a minimum level of 17.
Yes, they did say that.
To enter.
But that sort of makes me think that maybe there are going to be some EXP rewards, and that it might be a good way to level. And
maybe if you're...
I don't think you'd be able to like power level with this.
No, but I mean,
there'll be some restrictions.
Sure. It wouldn't surprise me if you reach the level in there that is equivalent to your maximum level outside if you started gaining experience points for the outside on top of the inside.
Now, are you thinking that like once you reach that level on the inside, you'll kind of plateau?
That's the other option. I mean, that's the thing. Can you get to level 60 in there without ever getting past level 17 on the outside? Will you start leveling on the outside?
That you would.
Yeah. Like that's the thing.
Strange.
I mean, these are questions we still have. I would like it that if you were 17 and you went in there and you got to level 17, when you hit 18 on the inside, you would hit 18 on the outside too. But they've been very explicit saying that they are separate. They are separate progression forms.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah. No, that's why I think that maybe when you're done and you come outside, you'll get like a flat kind of EXP bonus, depending on how many floors you cleared, how many enemies you killed.
It is doable in the Duty Finder, so that would make sense. They did say this would be in the Duty Finder, so I guess the question is, how does that work in the Duty Finder? How does it match you based on floor? Does it match you based on 5 floors, 10 floors? Does it, there's a lot of questions still unanswered here, ones that we'll hopefully be getting answers to May 22nd, because last time they attempted something new, we got Lords of Verminion and Diadem, and that didn't go well. So this is a big what if. It's a big question mark.
We're gonna be speaking about the Lords of Verminion Renaissance in a little bit.
Oh yeah, we'll be talking. Don't worry. There's a whole expansion coming out, the Yokai expansion, the fucking Lords of Verminion. Oh Jesus Christ! And then on top of that, how many floors are we guessing? I'm going with 100. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going with 100 because I don't think one level equals one floor.
Whoa.
I don't.
Now, how big are these? Like, how big are you thinking these floors are going to be?
Like 5 minutes.
Each floor?
5 to 6 minutes a floor, on average.
Okay, well, it's understandable that the first few floors, like the starting, like the beginner floors from like level 1 to maybe, I'd say 15 or 20, won't take that much time. It's just when you get to the later levels, I can understand it taking a little bit more time. I just don't think they would do 100.
Well, if it's going all the way to level 60...
Are you thinking that it's
I don't think
a
it's
level
one
per
floor to one level. I don't think you're guaranteed to get a level by the end of the floor.
No, I don't think it would be. It's either going to be like larger floors and less of them, like larger floors and maybe like 30. But having 100 small floors, I mean, it's conceivable. They're saying that they're wanting to release more floors as they go, though. So it might be the case that it's not up to level 60 yet. It might be the case that it's only going to level...
And then again, you have to ask the question, do you have to kill every enemy on the floor to advance?
They haven't explicitly said that you had to do that.
Yeah.
We don't know if there's other types of objectives other than killing enemies or just reaching the end of the floor. Maybe it's open all the treasure chests. Maybe it's, capture points. Maybe it's, get certain keys from certain enemies on the floors. Like there's a lot of objectives that are possible. The question is, will they vary it up, or will it just be kill enemies on every floor and move up? Which I hope they don't do.
And that's why I'm thinking is
they should have learned from Diadem that does not work.
That's why I'm thinking less floors. I wouldn't even say. I think you would actually level quicker than what we're expecting. So I don't even think it'll be 60. I think it'll maybe be less than that. I'd say maybe around 50. Because the idea of 100 floors, like, don't get me wrong, Haps, that appeals to my Tartarus sense. That appeals to my P3 Tartarus sense. But trying to do that in one sitting, I just couldn't. Sorry.
You wouldn't. It's not like this is something designed to be done in one sitting.
Yeah. So you think that there will be other objectives? All I could think when they were announcing this was like, all right, this is another sort of shot at doing something Diablo-esque in Final Fantasy. And I just assumed that it would be, all right, killing, random bosses and stuff like that. What other objectives could they conceivably?
Like I said, they could be, collect keys. It could be capture points. You need to capture 2 points, or you need to capture them simultaneously. Break up into 2 groups of 2. And
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Because collecting keys is just the same thing as killing enemies.
It doesn't have to be.
Off them afterwards.
You either get the keys from the enemies, or maybe the enemies with the keys run around the floor and they don't stay in one place.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things I suppose they could do with it.
Yeah.
I just don't really expect them to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping. Like, it's things like that. Because if I go up to every floor,
treasure goblins. Let's get some treasure goblins in there.
Yeah, pretty much. Just have goblins running around the floor, or have imps flying around the floor, and you got to kill them, and they ignore you completely and just keep running, and you just have to slow them and chase them and stun them and kill them. And they run through other enemy packs. So if you're chasing them and ignoring the enemies, then the enemies just start mobbing up on you.
What if they put, and then this again is going back to my Tartarus bullshit sense. What if they put a limit to the amount of time you can spend on the floor?
I've considered that. I mean, they put a time limit on everything else in the game.
That's true. But in terms of, like, where I'm going with this, that, like, stick around on the floor too long, something way over...
It resets the floor. Yeah.
Something way over your level comes out to kill you or something like that.
So there's some sort of enrage or something.
Yeah, like... Death.
You see, I think more that they'd put a time limit to the amount of time you can spend in there in total. So, like, if you want to spend ages on one floor, that's your prerogative, but it's not a particularly good use of your time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But having some sort of per floor enrage would be pretty cool.
Well, maybe that's one of the objectives. Get to the end of the floor within X amount of time, or complete the objective within 5 minutes, or something happens. Or,
I just want death.
I mean, we kind of had something like that in Wanderer's Palace, the first Wanderer's Palace, having the giant ombre chasing you. We haven't seen anything like that since, I don't think.
That is a good point. That is okay, we're saying that Edda's going to be in here, maybe as a boss, or what if she is the Reaper?
She's just stalking you?
Yeah, she's the Reaper equivalent, because in Persona, like, the Reaper, if you stood on the floor too long, the Reaper would come out and fucking kill you. Like, what if Edda is that equivalent? That would be awesome.
I like that a lot.
The Reaper was a bitch. Beat that motherfucker.
Like, he would show up.
Beat that motherfucker into the ground.
Yeah, if you were leveled enough, sure. Yeah, he's.
I was level.
Yeah. He's a pansy if you're leveled.
He's not a pansy, all right. He's just.
He's a pansy if you have the right persona.
Everything in that game's a pansy if you have the right persona. Anyway, just wait your day and a half, Sly. Just wait your day and a half.
I will.
All right. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see them succeed on a different idea. I do.
Agreed.
Yeah. Any ideas that you guys have had that are different from what they've done? Any sort of wish list on content?
No, I mean, other than, as we've already mentioned, it would be really nice to have the Weeping City as like a proper zone. Doing stuff like that would be really cool. Maybe on that same sort of note, maybe opening up old things like the Crystal Tower just for people to like wander through, even as like a solo instance or something if they want to. I don't feel like that would be too difficult, and that might be fun.
Cool. All right. Just figured I'd ask. Since we're always talking about wanting to see them do different things, thought maybe you guys had an idea.
True.
No.
No.
Useless.
No, I'm
We don't contribute.
I'm
we just
content with the content.
We don't contribute. We just spill bullshit.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, we don't offer solutions. We just,
Yeah.
you know.
Chocobo
Create
jousting.
more problems.
Exactly.
I'll take Chocobo jousting.
Yeah. Chocobo jousting. Yes.
So, speaking of PvP that we spoke about a little while ago, we're getting new front lines.
I didn't think we were getting a new Frontlines map. I was very shocked.
Yeah, this shocked me.
This is
too, because
exciting. Really.
This shocked me because it's mid-season. Why would they tease something like something else PvP mid-season?
Well, I mean, but also, why would you deliberately delay a piece of content that's ready for a patch just because it's mid-season? When it doesn't impact the gameplay in the feast, you know. If anything, it encourages people to get into PvP, obviously not in a sense to practice for 4v4, but it gives them something that's like, I don't feel like feasting right now, you know, and I'm tired of one map at level 60.
Yeah.
So I was pleasantly surprised, and they're continuing with their theme of only using the letter S to name all of their modes. We now have, except for the feast, which is really strange that it's feast and fold for arenas, so those are Fs.
That's right.
And then it's seize, slaughter, shatter, and what's the capture one? What's the very first one? Siege, Cartno Flats.
Yeah, siege. I think
Siege, slaughter, seize, and shatter.
We have the F and the S here. We have Field of Glory.
Yeah.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So shatter, what is that? So those names are always very telling about what secure. Secure is the last one.
There we go.
Not siege.
Secure, yeah, of course.
Secure,
well,
slaughter,
they've said that
seize.
it is going to be a lot like secure.
They said it was going to be a lot like what's it called? Seize, I thought.
Yes, yeah, rather. Yeah, that's right. I think it's just going to be a different map to seize, to be honest.
Shatter to me almost sounds like a defend the base kind of thing, though. When I think of shatter, I think of breaking through defense.
Yeah, okay. But they have the same sort of Allergan constructs. Maybe they just won't be randomly generated. Maybe, like you say, they'll be like set like defend points. That could be interesting.
Yeah, and the thing is, this also looks like it's taking place in Corthan lands.
It is taking place in Coerthas, although it's not an entirely frozen Coerthas.
Right.
So I think that what we're seeing here is the Eastern Lowlands.
Yeah, the Eastern Lowlands. That's what I was thinking too.
Which would be really interesting. And there's Allergan shit there, which is cool.
Well, the thing for me is, if it's not in Cartno Flats, it's not in contested lands for the Grand Companies.
Well, Eastern Lowlands could have been one of those places because it's quite close to the West Shroud, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, which got fucking demolished by Dalamud. So it might be one of these areas that we've like only just cleared up, and you know there's no sort of Ishgardian presence there anymore, and it has suddenly become contested precisely because these Allergan constructs have been uncovered there.
I'm looking for an excuse for it to not be Grand Company locked, all right? That's all I'm doing.
But it doesn't need to be Grand Company locked to be contested. We could just be mercenaries, you know?
I just no, but if you give them an excuse to make it contested, then they're gonna fucking make it contested.
All right.
And they did say they were considering going away from Grand Company locks.
Yeah, and I hope they will, and I think they will. But what other reason would we be there fighting?
We're assholes. I don't know.
Yeah, all right. We're just assholes.
We are. We're assholes.
Yeah.
Have
okay.
you not seen Idleshire's like chat? Like we're assholes. All right.
Well, most of my Idleshire chat's in Japanese, so I mean, occasionally.
That just means you're an ignorant asshole.
Yeah, sure. I mean, occasionally you see in katakana like fucking gaijin or whatever, but you know.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's hard to know. Blissfully ignorant, I'd call it. Blissfully ignorant.
What if Ishgard is hosting it? What if Ishgard's like, yeah, it's ours. Fuck you. And then it's like, why would only the
Would
other
they really
three
attach a lore reason for this?
They
there
do
could
with
be, it could
everything.
be, yeah, I think they have to. It could be like Ishgard versus everyone else, and you could just be randomly assigned to either Ishgard or not Ishgard.
Would it have something to do with the Grand Melee, if that were the case? Like the results of the Grand Melee?
Could. Yeah, maybe. But again, there's elegant shit there. That has got to be the primary motivator.
It always
Surely.
is.
Yeah, it has to be.
All PvP is always a fucking Allegan shit. Every time.
Maybe it's like Coerthus versus Lolorito.
Yeah, just Lolorito.
Yeah, Ishgard versus Lolorito. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great. Looking forward to it. I'm just glad to have another
Shit
map.
Lolorito would pull.
I'm wondering if in 3.35 we're going to get another feast map. I don't think we will. I think we'll see another feast map in 3.4 though.
So soon?
Yeah, sure,
Maybe
maybe.
so soon. It'll have been like 6-7 months by then. You know? I would, because I think that that's the big thing, is we need more maps, and then when they raise the fucking level cap, don't get rid of the old maps. Use the old maps at the next level cap.
Yeah,
Please, Secure and Slaughter. I know not a lot of people have fond memories of them, but it would be
yeah, but it's
much
just
better.
a waste of perfectly good assets.
Yeah, it's just a waste. Like, if anything, at least make us able to level reliably on PvP if you're going to keep them at that level. Something. Do something with it. Please. I just want more level 60 PvP. Not level 50. There's a reason they got rid of all the other folds. Other than the level 50 one. They got rid of 30 and 40 for a reason. Please. Alright. And then housing. New plots. Price of
New
land's going to be
prices.
adjusted.
Have they announced that yet? Because they said they were going to announce that within like the next week.
Probably like this week or next week, I imagine.
Yeah, okay.
That hasn't happened yet, though. And then finally, indoor gardening. With flower pots and vases.
Yay.
Although they made it seem like the things you would be able to make were not like as in depth because you don't have like cross-pollination or cross-breeding really when
Yeah.
you stick things in flower pots and whatnot. So I think it was like you could like plant a flower and like the way you take care of the flower changes the color of the
Change
flower.
the color. Yeah,
Yeah, that was the example they gave. Awesome, great for that house I use so much. Yeah, and that's another thing. Later on, the level 5 CEO actually said, "There's no reason to go in houses. Are you guys going to add a reason for me to go inside of a house?" He's like, "Yeah, we'll think of something. Some sort of buff, maybe. I don't know. Homecoming
Just like
buff.
5 lore every time you walk into someone's house.
Just walk in and out of the house to cap. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. That shit's never gonna happen.
Oh, go on.
Maybe
Go
it
on.
temporarily like buffs your free company. Like if you have a free company house and like you go in, it like makes the buff stronger if you queue from inside the house.
Or it gives you their buff, maybe.
You go into another person's house, it gives you their free company buff. Dude, people would just like open a fucking halfway house and just fucking buffs for everyone.
Come get your buff if you're writing.
Fucking soup kitchen of buffs over here.
Come get your meat and meat if you're writing.
All you people who don't have houses, there's a fucking soup kitchen of EXP buffs over here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Increased resting EXP gain rate? I would like that too.
Yeah, something like that could be cool.
Yeah, then all the people are like, but I already have all level 60s. That's useless to me. Well, then you should have fucking leveled them all. That's your fault. And then they just standard stuff, new gear for gatherers and crafters. Good luck with that, you guys, because I'm not dealing with that shit.
Well,
I'll go back to it eventually.
yeah. I mean, okay, the really exciting thing when they were talking about all these quality of life stuff our HUD presets. We can save HUD presets. We don't have to have the same HUD layout for tanking, DPS, and healing. I'm so fucking excited for this. This is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Now the only thing is I need to be able to change keybinds because HUD layouts isn't the big deal for me. It's keybinds so much as much.
But can't you?
Yeah, you could move it in such a way that it's different. But if I only use RTNF on one hotbar, I'm still only going to use RTNF on that hotbar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if I put it in a spot that looks like it is in a different spot, it doesn't necessarily achieve anything different. You know
That's fair. Do you think that this is going to include keybinds? Because I don't think it will.
No, it won't. But it's something that was needed because you don't necessarily want every job set up the exact same way on your screen, regardless of whether or not you're using the same keybinds.
Exactly.
So it's really good. You can already kind of do this now with macros, but it's not the layout. It's just where the buttons are located. Like you can have a PvE macro and then a PvP macro, and that'll change your hotbars, but it won't change the location. Yeah. So, I mean, it's good. It's one of those features we've wanted for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And
we've also
I've just been like, meh.
Yeah,
Really?
Mr. plays one job.
You play Bard sometimes, don't you, Sly?
Been learning Black Mage.
You've been learning Black Mage. Ooh.
On Mateus. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
What, is it like level 12?
No, it's 30.
Oh, nice.
So it is a Black Mage.
So you
It is
literally
a Black
unlocked
Mage.
it.
It is a legit Black Mage. It's not a Thaumaturge. It's not an Archer. It's not a Thaumaturge. It is a Black
Thaumaturge. Thaumaturge. Sorry.
We're going to hell.
Sorry, I had to. So we've also got our recommended gear button, and we're going to have to be throwing out a lot of disclaimers with this one. It doesn't give you best in slot. It's highest eye level. Doesn't give you best in slot. Doesn't work out your accuracy cap for you.
So what's the
don't
purpose?
For people who forget to equip new gear when they're leveling up.
Exactly. Yeah. So every couple of levels, you can just hit it and be like, all right, there's my new gear.
Which is good because I always fucking hate digging through my shit to find.
Yeah.
higher
I agree.
level.
Sort it. You're talking to somebody. You're talking to somebody whose inventory is the Salvation Armory chest. Like it is filled all
I'm
the.
talking to someone who plays one fucking job too.
But it's filled with like crafter and gatherer shit.
That you never fucking use, so
Hey,
it's not
come
a
on,
problem.
It's a useful feature. It's relatively simple to implement. I imagine it didn't require that much in the way of scripting, so it's good. Why the fuck not? It's going to help a lot of people.
It's there for new players, Sly. It's not everything is for you.
No.
You need the BIS button. That's the button you want. The button.
Yeah, Sly needs that.
No, I don't.
Are you sure?
I've seen you put skill speed on your gear. That BIS button wouldn't let that happen.
No. Okay. All right. First off,
Oh,
I redid my materia.
but you had to redo your materia.
Only on like a few pieces.
Only on a few pieces. There was more than one piece that you put skill speed on.
No. That was the only one.
Sly, I'm disappointed in you.
We're not going to talk about my melding horror stories. And
All right,
we're not gonna
how
talk
I
about
accidentally bought a whole bunch of spell speed because I wasn't looking. Yeah, that happened.
Wait, spell speed. You didn't buy spell speed 5s, did you?
No, 4s.
Ooh, I was about to say.
Luckily, I got the money back the same night. I
thought you were about to tell me that you spent all your Machi matter on spell.
Oh God, no! God, no! I've never fucked up my Machi
that.
matter. It's just like I went to the market board and I was like buying a whole bunch of spell speed, and I was like, wait, what? Oh, I'm buying spell speed. Okay, let me
Should've
stop.
gone and gambled it.
Yeah.
Well, finally for quality of life, we've got our crossover rate finder.
But it's not a party finder. It's literally a hey, I'm looking for It's not a full-blown party finder. It's just for like savage and like.
Yeah, but it does seem like it's going to be pretty precise. Like we'll be able to say, all right, it's clear only, and it'll do like a check for that.
When is that ever precise?
Yeah, because the people who set it up aren't going to be full of shit, right?
Exactly.
No. I mean, if it actually checks for like the achievement or whatever.
They said it will. They said you'll be able to do achievement checks.
Exactly. So if you set a clear only party, then sure you might be getting people who've been carried, but they're at least going to have the clear.
That doesn't make things better at this.
No, it doesn't.
You're going to be getting people that got carried, but they have the achievements.
They have the clear.
But you know what I mean, is that there's not going to be like that high a number of people that are bluffing their way into it. You know what I mean?
No, this is just my alt.
I think
my main is
Sure.
Miyuni Evans. That's my main. Right now my main is Layla Bell. Could you just invite me real quick? Yeah, there we go.
Have either of you ever had this problem where you're playing on an alt and like you're laying down some advice for someone and people are like, oh, what the fuck do you know? You've only got like one character at 50. And you're like, oh no, this is an alt. And they're like, yeah, what's your main's name? And I'm like, oh, that's Ethys. And they're like, no, it's not.
I had that issue.
Get the fuck
I
out
will
of here.
actually no, I don't have that issue because my alt's name is also Mr. Happy.
Oh, okay. Well, you see, my alt that I'm leveling at the moment is called Gruntamolus Dindergrabble, and people are not.
Yeah, my alt is just Slyakagreyfox.
My favorite alt name is definitely Bill Nye Defiance Guy. He was a warrior.
Whose is that?
I don't know. I saw it in Ul'dah one day. Bill Nye Defiance Guy.
All right, Bill Nye Defiance Guy. If you're listening, send us a screenshot of something of your character. I'm gonna send you a fucking T-shirt or something because that's amazing.
And then yeah, my Zalera character's name is I Am Totally Mr. Happy.
Oh my god!
I got a lot of retweets. I had like 160 likes and like 80 retweets when I posted a picture of that guy.
That is so fucking excellent.
You know what? I wanted to make a character called It's Not Deliverance, It's DiGiorno, but it was too long. I wanted to make a warrior called that, but the name was too long. You can do Deliverance, not DiGiorno. I think that's the only thing you can get away with.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Raid Finder, by the way.
So this is going to be really good for people like the level 5 CEO Akihiro Hino who have cleared A6 Savage in Party Finder. It's going to be great for the Japanese server group. It's going to be
Always is.
It's going to be really good for going back and farming like A4S in particular, which you can do in Duty Finder, but it's like maybe a clear rate of like 1 in 20, and this is definitely going to like bump that up to 1 in 5 or 1 in 3 or something. If it has that cleared only check. So it's going to be awesome. I'm excited for it. I don't know what you guys think.
I'm always down for more accessibility.
Sure.
Who am I to fight it? You know, I'm not going to be that guy. It's ruining my server immersion. I don't care. Fucking play
And I
the
guess
game.
it also means that if you're on like a low pop server like Mateus or Zalera or whatever, and you have, maybe 5 out of 8 of a static, then you can still play together regularly and you can just do it through this raid finder and, be relatively successful.
Yeah, it'll make it easy to find subs, I guess.
Well, one of the more interesting things is that they're when they want a full-blown party finder for this as well, and the level 5 CEO actually asked about that. But the thing that they're doing with it is they also want you to just flat out be able to chat cross-server.
Well, they want you to. I think the way that Yoshida was saying it was like, yeah, we're working on this, we're doing it. The reason why it's not coming yet is because we want people to be able to chat in that party while they're finding other people, so that they can talk like strategy and stuff like that. So he said for that reason they've got it scheduled for 3.5. And then he said, furthermore, we're also looking into the idea of having proper like cross-server lobbies where people can go into a zone with people from other servers and chat and stuff like that, which would be cool. I don't know how much action that would really get though. If it's
I think you know what, that I would think that until I think about how many. I thought like everyone hated normal mode raids, and then I got a consensus of it. I found out how many people really like having a normal and a savage mode because they don't want to do savage. So it seems like one of those things that we may not know about it, but there's actually a really high demand. And looking at how some of the lower population servers have a lot of people that just log in and play the game casually and just chat, if you could combine that with multiple servers, I could totally see that being something that's in huge demand.
Yeah, I can see that, but I feel like you'd have to put something else in that lobby. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe do that with the gold saucer somehow.
I still want to be able to queue for that shit outside the gold saucer, and I think they said they're working on making it so you can do Lords of Verminion and Chocobo racing from your house.
Okay.
So I'd like to see them make that possible to do from here as well. Just make me fucking able to do it anywhere, please. Just give me a cell phone.
Can't take the extra effort to teleport to the gold saucer just to go up.
No, it's not that. It's that I have to be there, and so does everyone else who wants to do it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to fucking do it and not have to go there because there's no point. And then it only matches you with other people that are in the gold saucer.
So you want to be able to do your crackpot outside of gold saucer?
No, I still want to go for the crackpot. I just don't want to have to go for the goddamn racing. It's
like
really
you have to be physically in the gold saucer and stay there.
Yeah.
You can't go other places while you're queuing for it.
Right.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
True.
Yeah, it's as frustrating as not being able to queue with my Chocobo out, which they're still working on, apparently.
Yeah.
Working on.
I don't know why that's so
Quote unquote working on.
Yeah, they're not working on that, let's be real.
Oh, man. But then, I mean, we're getting into the level 5 CEO, which is the Yokai Watch. The next 4 hours where we talk about Yokai Watch.
He's fucking legit. Like, he's a, semi-hardcore player. I'd say he's more serious about playing Final Fantasy XIV than Yoshida is.
Well, he has to be because he doesn't make the fucking game, so he can't.
Yeah, no, of course. But I mean, like, all I'm saying is that he's not getting knocked off of Sephiroth. That's all I'm saying.
Twice.
Yeah,
they only took one picture, but he fell off more than once.
Yeah.
I can confirm.
So Hino said he's cleared A5 and A6S in Party Finder, which is, it's a pretty impressive feat. He didn't say what server he's on, which is
probably one of the Japanese ones.
Yeah, well,
if it's in the Party Finder, it's probably Chocobo. He's probably on.
Maybe he's on Tomberry. Yeah,
maybe he's on Tomberry. Maybe
I think he's probably on Chocobo.
He plays Dark Knight, which is, a thing.
It's edgy.
He bought 6 bottles of water every day from 7-Eleven. Who buys water? What's wrong with your tap?
No, he wanted the prizes.
He wanted it.
Yeah, but why buy water? Why not buy?
Because he's a healthy man.
Oh, he's not a healthy man. He's cleared A5 and 6S.
What the fuck does that mean?
I mean, you can't have a particularly healthy lifestyle as a semi-hardcore raider.
5 and 6 is not semi-hardcore. Semi-hardcore, he might have 7 friends he can play with.
Yeah, no, but he's doing it in Party Finder. So I mean, he's fairly committed. I'm just saying.
Committed to
fat as hell.
If he's raiding 3 nights a week,
is he supposed to be fat as hell?
There's only so healthy you can be.
Have to shut the fuck up.
I'm speaking from experience. Anyway, my point is that, like, people were saying during the live that, oh, this is just an ad or whatever. No, it wasn't just an ad. This dude's actually like a legit Final Fantasy XIV player, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though he's supposed to be fat as hell since he party finds A5 and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's supposed to look like Slyh, but like Asian.
No, he's supposed to look like me, is what I'm saying.
I give up on you.
I don't buy water. You kidding me?
Yeah, but you got
that glass of water right there.
Tap water. Good old tap water. Although the tap water
tap water.
Is it a Brita filter or anything like that? Is that filter?
No. Our tap water is actually not flammable. So.
Flammable?
Dude, most of the tap water in the US is flammable. That's like common knowledge. Merc.
By the way, remember when I said I was saving your face for when you rage? I think that's the equivalent of you raging. Is that you're buying bottled water?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right. That I don't know if that was a rage. That was just like a rant.
Like, who the fuck buys bottled water? All
right. Okay. All right. I'm arguing. Okay.
All right.
Talk about Yokai Watch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Taking this away from me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so we're getting a collaboration event for Yokai Watch.
And it is the biggest collaboration event we have ever seen by a country mile.
Yeah. People are like, oh, wow, cool, a minion. Oh, wow, cool, 2 minions.
Another minion.
Okay, 3
Ooh,
minions.
another
piece of
minion.
candy.
4 minions?
Ooh, piece of
5?
Ooh, piece of candy.
Candy.
13
Wait, a weapon?
motherfucking minions.
We get a weapon? No.
So this is the new Lords of Dominion meta. It is
this is the
Lords of
expansion pack
Dominion
for
is
Lords of
going to
Dominion.
be a Yokai Watch PvP. That's
Yeah,
what
no,
it is.
that's what it is. It's the Lords of Dominion expansion, the Yokai Watch expansion.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
How do we feel about that? Do you reckon that these are going to be like OP Lords of Dominion?
No, they're probably going to borrow abilities from all the other fucking ones that already exist.
They're going to borrow. You don't think that they'll use like named abilities of theirs?
If they fucking take development time to make these things Yokai Watch specific, I'm going to fucking lose my shit. That's not going to encourage people to do Lords of
I
Dominion
bet
anymore.
you it's going to have custom attacks, custom animations.
I had to agree on that. Like if they made this event so big that they would include these characters, then why not include the actual quote unquote lore from these characters from their own game?
Yeah, I've got a few reasons for this. Firstly, is that the whole time they were talking, there was such a clear bromance between Hino and Yoshida. Like, those guys are way into each other.
Yoshi plays Yokai Watch, and we just don't know about it.
I don't think Yoshi does play Yokai Watch.
Bullshit.
I don't think he does.
I think he does. I think he
I
does.
really don't think he does.
Secondly, Hino explicitly said that he had to get Yoshida drunk before he would agree to it. He said, yeah, no, we went out over drinks and, we had some drinks and we had some more drinks. And then we decided to do a collaboration. So that's how you get the biggest Final Fantasy collab of all time is you take Yoshida out to drinks, all right?
Is that how we're going to be able to get anything from Yoshi is just to take him out for drinks?
Samurai? Get him drunk.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something at FanFest. We're going to have to get him, like, completely shit-faced.
Listen, Soken got hammered at FanFest and was apparently giving out his phone number to people, so...
I wasn't even aware of that.
And I saw Soken. Soken was on my plane to New Jersey because he had to go to Europe, and he was hungover as shit, so I believe it. He was just like,
my God.
Hey.
So if you guys see in 4.0, if you see NPCs with our names, you know what's happened.
We got him wasted.
We got him.
Gotcha.
I'm surprised he has time to go out for fucking drinks with his schedule.
Hey,
no,
wait, Happy. If you want your add-ons that fucking bad, just saying.
It's the UI guy. I got to get drunk for that one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. UI guy, you like whiskey?
UI guy, Bill Nye UI guy. There we go.
Bill Nye.
There we go. Oh man! And then on top of getting the 13 minions, we're getting a weapon for each one of them.
Yes.
What do we think of this?
Wait. You were there. We were obviously all waiting on the booby prize, which was the dog. We were like, please not let it be.
Mangy Mud.
Please don't let it be my job. Yes. And
Confirmed they hate summoners, by the way.
They missed an opportunity here. This could have been and should have
Glamour.
been the first Eggy Glamour.
Yeah. Everyone was saying that this could have been the first Eggy Glamour. It was Mangy Mutt.
How fucking great would that be?
Man, I can hear the money leaving
asking.
I can hear the money leaving Square Enix's wallet already.
Well, I say it's a booby prize, but it actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would.
It's stupid as hell. Are you kidding me? It's literally
I thought it would have been worse. I thought
it's a stainless steel book with an angry dog's face on it.
I like it.
No,
they all look pretty. It doesn't look any more silly than any of the other ones. They've all got
but can we all agree that Dark Knight is obviously the winner of the...
Dark Knight's so edgy.
Yeah.
I like the Paladin Sword.
The Paladin Shield.
I'm a big fan of the Paladin Sword. Honestly, I like them all. Yeah, the Paladin Shield, not so much. The Paladin Sword's nice. But they're all, they're all very kind of bright and colorful and cartoony. And we've been asking for more weapons like this, right?
The Bard Bow looks pretty... actually pretty good for.
I like the
yokai.
sperm bow. Yeah.
Yeah, for the yokai it's based on, it looks pretty damn good.
Yeah. Now, what I thought was really interesting with all of this is the white mage orb. The color of it did not exist in the game's assets.
So they make new assets for Yokai Watch?
They made new assets for... I don't even. Like, they've had to change the game engine in some way to make this color possible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that means. I'm literally colorblind. I couldn't fucking care less.
Well, that's the thing, is that, like, you know, it's... Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to comment on that. I mean, it's cool. I love it. I reckon it's really great.
But I think the most cringe-worthy moment was the fucking the mount.
I love the mount.
The little jism mount. Oh,
yeah,
man.
the jizz mount. And just seeing a fucking row in that shit, because it doesn't scale.
No, it scales for the other 5
Scales for
races.
everyone
It
except
just
for-
doesn't scale for Rose.
Yeah, and it looks like his ass is completely out of the fucking
I
mount.
love it. I love
And
it.
it looks like he's about to fall out of it.
I love it. That's what Rogaine is all about, as far as I'm concerned.
Sperm mounts?
Yeah, jism mounts.
Yeah, there we go.
That
That's a
row line.
lot of stuff for one collab event.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous. And it's not, just to make it clear, this isn't coming with 3.3, everyone. This is going to be probably sort of end of June to mid-July. They're going to want it to be happening around the same time as the release of Yokai Watch 3, which I think is mid-June. And the anime, they bring out a new anime for it as well around the same time.
Yeah, so it gives a lot of people time to get as many of the weapons and things as possible, because I heard the drop rate is really low for these.
Well, I don't know about drop rate. They were saying that it's going to be easy to get your first one, and then all subsequent ones are going to cost these medallions, which we get by doing, the quests, whether they be fates or whatever they are, whilst wearing our Yokai Watch. So that just means it's going to cost like
literal yokai watch.
Yeah, literal Yokai Watch. Sure.
Yeah.
And then with us getting all these yokai, what are we giving to them? A chocobo.
A chocobo and
And a weird cat Moogle thing.
yeah, the the Moogle Nyan.
Why are they all cat? Now, I don't know anything about Yokai Watch, but as far as I can tell, it's just Pokemon where everything is a cat.
Cat.
Not everything is a cat.
I mean,
it's
you
not a
got the
cat
main
dog.
Dude, everything, okay, everything's either a cat or a jism, all right?
The dog's not a cat. It's not a cat dog.
Well, then it's a jism.
It's not a mangy
cat dog.
Mangy muttnyan.
Cat.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you know what I'm saying is like that's marketing genius, isn't it? They're like, what do people love? People love Pokemon. People love cats. Pokemon could have more cats. Let's give Pokemon more cats.
Chokonyan. And Mooglenyan. Which casts Ultinyan.
Yeah, even the dog is a cat.
The dog's not a cat.
He's a dog.
How much would you say that dog weighs?
6 pounds.
All right, okay.
I'm sorry.
Any fine. Any dog under 50 pounds is a cat. All right.
Yeah.
Logic.
Sure. Why not? Any dog under fucking 50 pounds is a cat. Got it. That's our fucking quote of the evening.
Yeah.
Quote that and put it on Twitter. Please.
I will.
I'm asking. No, not you. Them. Yeah.
Why not me?
Because it's not funny if you do it.
Oh, I see how it is. Fucking Ethys joke killer Asher over here. Oof.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so after you collect all 13, you get that mount, and you got to do it all with the Yokai Watch. Are you going to do the collab? You're going to get all the minions?
Yeah.
All the minions? How long before they pop up on the cash shop? Like a year?
Yeah, I'd say yeah. Yeah. Although that's kind of difficult, isn't it? Because if they had them on the cash shop, you'd assume that something would be having to go to level 5 from those sales. So
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
they won't be on the cash shop.
I don't know. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to have to deal with that problem, but
Yeah.
they'll be there eventually.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, probably. Let's see. And then they pretty much wrap things up. After an hour and a half of that, they wrap things up.
They honestly took an hour and a half to talk about a handful of minions.
They loved it so much. They had so much extra time. They showed us the minions again.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for every minion reveal took about 90 seconds.
No, it took longer than that.
Longer
Some of them
than
took
that.
like 5-6 minutes because they were like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
it was-
how did you decide
yeah.
to do that? Let's tell us everything about the development of this stupid fucking
Yeah.
dog."
Well, I mean, it's not stupid. I liked it, but the thing is, like with the early part of the live letter, they were like, "All right, we're really going to be flying through them this time," and I'm like, "Oh my god, they've taken some feedback. They've realized that." You know, every time they do these live letters, there's so much filler, so much banter, and they're like not giving us information sort of quickly enough.
No, we just traded banter.
Yeah,
We
and
just
then they were
traded
like, no, they did the first part really quickly, and I was like, all right, awesome, taking the feedback. And then I realized that no, they were just doing that so they could talk about Yokai Watch.
Yeah, no, they did it just so they could talk
That's
about
for Yokai Watch.
Pretty much. I mean, we found out that the 7-Eleven thing is coming to America soon. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Europe.
Woo!
And you'll never get it at this.
No, I'll never. Well, the thing is, we have a 7-Eleven. I guess they just.
A single 7-Eleven in all of Australia.
A 7-Eleven?
No, we got a few of them. Come on. We got a few of them. It's just obviously too difficult, and you know, the 3 people in Australia that play Final Fantasy 14, they're obviously not going to get that much out of us. I feel like events like this would encourage more Australians to be playing Final Fantasy 14.
I'll make. I already told you. I'll go and buy double the amount of fucking Coca-Colas when I fucking.
I'm fucking holding you to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take a picture of all 56 of the Coca-Colas that I
It's
buy.
like,
And
no
while
one-
you're there,
no
get
one
into
in
some
Australia
bottled
even knows
water
that it
because he
exists.
fucking hates that shit.
Yeah, I won't
No,
buy
I'm
any
not-
water. Don't worry, I won't buy bottled water.
Don't buy me water.
I'm gonna buy him fucking bottled water. To be like, what did you buy to get me those codes? Bottled water. I don't
Bottled
fucking
water.
Want it. I don't fucking want it anymore. Go back and buy a fucking Coke, you American.
Make it worse. Get him some Fiji. Get him that expensive bottled water.
I'm not getting
Yeah.
him the fucking Fiji. I'll get him that fucking 50-cent water.
Yeah. All right.
The vitamin water. I think it's like soft drinks and water. Whatever they end up doing. Piece of shit. So anyway, that was a wrap for that. But then there were a few other details that have popped up in the past week. Obviously, we spoke about Ozma. We spoke about the reputation buffs. But there's a few other things that popped up from Nico Nico Chokaigi. Yoshi P has that thing where he someone from the crowd gets to come up and talk to him for like 90 seconds, and they ask him questions. So there was another thing.
Why do you let the people do this?
So
Yoshi, what fruit are we gonna get next?
peaches.
Peaches.
Fucking love peaches. Yeah, Ethys must be excited because that's a lore thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it is a lot of things.
I'm amazed you didn't go out and research the environments peaches are grown in and then start
see,
guessing.
I was thinking of that. I was
But it's a gatherer thing, so naturally you don't really give a shit about it, do you?
No, I do. They were saying the thing that excited me here was that Yoshida said, "Oh well, you know, maybe we'll see peaches with the expansion that we go to Garlemald." Everyone was like, "With the expansion that we go to, excuse me, run that by me again? Did you just confirm that we have an expansion that we're going to Garlemald? Did you just casually drop that?"
Maybe, yeah, he said the same thing for Doom Train though. He's like, maybe we're gonna go to maybe
We're going to go to
Garlemald.
Garlemald. And people were like, yeah, but you're
What?
assuming that we're going to Garlemald.
Yeah.
Are you? Or are you just like throwing that out? Are you going to Garlemald, Yoshida?
Oh man. But one of the funniest things was they asked him about PS3 support in 4.0, and all he said was no comment.
Well, sorry, PS3 players.
Well, he can't. The thing is, if he says no, PS3 players say "fuck it, I'm not playing anymore." If he says
and
yes,
they drop now. Yeah.
if he says they are getting rid of it, PS3 player shop. But if he says no, everyone else gets pissed that they're not dropping it yet. So
Do you
he's
think
fucked
that they'll
either way.
get a free upgrade when they do?
Yes, I absolutely.
I
think
mean, they'll
get a
have
free
to, won't
upgrade.
they?
Yeah, they'll absolutely give another free upgrade. Yeah.
And PS4 by the time 4.0 comes out, it's gonna be pretty cheap.
Not with the Neo coming out.
Yeah. Forgot about the Neo.
Get the fucking PS4 Neo, and then get the Morpheus with it. Get the full experience. Just everything.
There's eventually going to be a Trinity something. I don't know whatever.
Oh no.
Oh my God, you're right. I never realized that. The VR was called the Morpheus, and the new one's called the Neo. Oh my god, they're all such nerds.
Matrix names.
They're all Matrix names.
There's eventually going to be a Trinity.
Oh my god. How did I not see this?
I'm mad you're just now getting this. What the fuck?
How did I not put it together?
We're gonna get the Xbox Slythefox.
Your PS4 knows Kung Fu.
They're gonna call the fucking camera the Oracle? Oh my god. It's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Who's going to be Smith?
I don't care. Xbox. I don't know. Xbox can be Smith. There you go. Ninja AoE's gonna get buffed, finally. Stop laughing about that.
Where's the mug buff?
Yeah, I don't know where the monthly monk. You know what's funny? Before the live letters, do you remember that? Before the live letters started, I was typing out my prediction for the actual notes, and I guessed monthly monk buff.
We have not had a monk buff in weeks. What are you guys doing?
Weeks. Fucking monks.
Fucking
Monk
monks.
seems to be dominating the feast the most, by the way. Monk seems to be the job to play to climb the ladder.
Yeah.
But we don't know which Ninja AoE is going to be buffed. Can we just get Duality and fucking Death Blossom to work together, please? Like, it's just... Please.
You know, for every buff you get...
They're going to give you like a 5 potency buff on Death Blossom.
For every buff they give you, they're going to give you a nerf to something.
They're going to fucking remove Huton, and then we just have lower fucking skill speed in exchange.
Yeah. Well,
everyone's like, the Doton 2. It's going to be Doton 2.
Oh, God.
Doton 2. It'd be nice if you use Doton, that your next ninjutsu only had a 10-second cooldown, so you could use katans while you're waiting or some shit. I don't know. Or if you use AoE skills, it's only a 10-second cooldown, and then the single.
There goes the camera.
Don't worry, I don't mind.
You got it.
Yep. That's a great face.
I'm just gonna leave that. That's a good one.
That is a good one. I'm putting that on, and I got a really good one of Slyh too. In fact, I like the one of Slyh better. Holy shit! How do I?
Did I
freeze?
Hold on, I gotta save this image.
I freeze?
No, but when I took the picture of him, your face, obviously it's a picture, so like it caught a still of your face in the process. So I'm gonna save both of these: SOTR, Slyh, and Ethys funny faces, and I'll edit that later. All right, there we go. But that is a great Ethys face for the collection. Like, I don't know what it is. You're just...
Yeah, I was trying to... Never mind.
No. You were trying to make a face for me to copy? Or you're trying to copy his... Okay, never mind.
No.
All right. Anyway.
You're going to put that one on your Ethys shrine, aren't you, Mike?
Oh, don't worry. I am. I have the entire Ethys shrine present right here. Look.
Have you got your Ethys-scented candles?
There we go. Let's see. Yeah, see, I have the whole shrine right here. And the salt, too. All right. Okay. Yeah, I have the whole thing. We're good. We're good right here. I feel like I'm missing one though. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go. We got the whole shrine. Now I just got to add the new one.
Anyway,
and we're good.
Have you got anything else to say about Yokai Watch?
What? We were not even talking about that anymore.
Have either of you guys played it before?
No.
No.
All right. Well.
I'm glad you
wait.
topic.
Yeah, thanks. But has this like brought an interest for you to Yokai Watch? Are you thinking about
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Like usually with collaboration events, it drums up interest on both parts. Well,
that's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose, and I don't think that it's going to draw a lot of interest from the 14 crowd.
Well, Yokai Watch just released.
They seem like very different audiences, don't they?
Well, I don't know. They're RPGs.
Yeah, but Yokai Watch seems like even more sort of kid-oriented than Pokemon.
Is
that because of the cats, or is?
No, just I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. You know what? When the Yokai Watch Gokus come out, I'll watch some of the Gokus.
All right.
And see what I think. But it's not going to make me go and buy a 3DS. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think the seeing Chocobos and Moogles in Yokai Watch is going to make people think about Final Fantasy 14 and oh shit, I'm going to go sub to 14.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work like that either. I just don't think it will. But one really important tidbit that came out of that is the next Savage may be easier than the current. Again.
Yes, which is interesting. That is interesting because, I mean, this was supposed to be easier. People got to A8 and they weren't like, oh yeah, no, this is way easier.
No, they were not.
Yeah, I mean, speaking objectively, like it got knocked over much quicker, but all the same people weren't like, oh yeah, no, this is real easy.
No, a lot of people said it was harder because of the mechanics. Just mechanically speaking, it was a harder fight to overcome.
Yeah, just slightly less of a wall.
Yeah. And then apparently one of the biggest problems that's happening is because of the complexity of the jobs going up, the clear rates are still down.
The complexity of the jobs going up.
In the expansion.
Yeah. I don't know. Are they significantly...
Some of, like, Mhach isn't. Mhach's an example of one that isn't.
Mhach seems to be no more complicated. I say Ninja is perhaps less complicated.
Yeah. Ninja's not really any more complicated either.
Bard's no more complicated. I don't think anything else is really more complicated.
Yeah, Bard's
different.
It's a lot different.
It's a lot different, but I don't think it's got a much higher skill cap.
I'd say it does.
All right.
I'd say it does.
Yeah, I guess my point is that I don't think that this sort of complexity point is all that, But
I mean, it's what people are struggling with. So that's what he said. At least he's seeing that just people are not performing on their jobs as well now as they were back in A Realm Reborn.
So they're struggling with the basics of their job, and that's giving them trouble with the end game rates.
Right. A larger percentage of the community, which maybe gives them a little bit of a hint not to add fucking 5 more skills to the game in the next expansion.
No, we're still gonna get them.
Shut up. But he said he might even also further nerf the current Savage.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how you... Well, for example, I don't know how you could nerf A7.
A7 you could reduce the damage.
A7 you could nerf a little bit.
The A7...
A6.
A6 probably doesn't need any more love than it already got. A7 would probably be the amount of damage that Sizzle Beam does would probably be lowered. That's honestly one of the biggest points is Sizzle Beam. It kills people, and then it's just the rest of the fight is downhill from there. And then, like, I don't know, maybe the amount of damage that maybe the health of the alarums, or maybe the damage dealt by the ads in the ice cage for the tanks. Like, those are a few things I could think of. But A8 is probably the more troubling part. That's probably what they mean more when they say adjust Savage. And
what do you expect them to do to A8?
I mean, they would probably reduce the total number of stacks for legislation, which is the one where you have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you have to do all the orbs and shit. They would probably reduce just the total number of stacks you had because it gives you more flexibility. And so they would probably just make it 3, 2, and 1 and get rid of the 4, I'd imagine. They would probably lower the health of Blaster. They would, and I don't know, there's not really much else you can do in that phase. The health of Blaster is the part most people have trouble with because it's a DPS check. After that, it's not really that bad. Maybe the amount of damage that the betas do, like they did in the current A6. And then, I don't know, after that, it's just such a clusterfuck of mechanics that it's hard to really say. They might reduce the damage of the water explosion, or maybe they make it so the shurikens don't instantly kill you. I don't know. There's things they could do, I just don't know why they would do it. You know.
So, in turn,
I feel like it's not even 3.3. We're not even halfway through the patch cycle.
I'd imagine it would be at least something in 3.3, if not 3.35.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it in 3.35, but 3.3 seems so soon. I mean, people not having cleared A8 by 3.3 is not a big deal by any stretch.
So, in turn, do you think this is going to lower the requirement of Vit Materia? Because
that's a big thing. In A8, Vit Materia is... It's a lot like Bahamut was, where, this fight's, like, mechanically not that hard, it's just there's a fuck ton of damage. But this fight is mechanically hard, and there's a fuck ton of damage, so... It's interesting. to say the least, that this is under consideration in the first place, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got out of like the super like hardcore rating scene. I guess I'm done kind of disputing whether or not they should do it personally.
Sure. Just accepting that they are going to do it.
I accept that they will do it. I accept that as one voice. I have no control over it. I personally am someone who loves it when they kind of just go balls to the wall. And as long as they make a fun fight and it's a challenging fight, I don't necessarily care how many people beat it. I just care that it's thought through and it's designed well. I'm impressed by things like that. And I love seeing the development team go out of their way to make fights like that. And I thought that was accomplished very well. I thought this entire tier of Savage was such a step up. Like, these are the kind of fights I want to see them design in the future.
I agree. I think this is the sort of standard, but you think the standard is going to be this post-nerf?
That's the thing. It's like,
which is a bit disappointing. I wouldn't mind if they made a habit of, because a lot of people feel like when they nerf these, it's like they're correcting them, they're fixing the fights.
Right.
I don't think that's the right attitude to have. I don't mind the idea of seeing halfway through a patch cycle a nerf to make it accessible to more people, but still have the hardest hits to start with for the really hardcore crowd.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind that either. I mean, if they do it halfway through a cycle, then yeah. I mean, I'm perfectly cool with that. I just hope that this doesn't stifle their creativity before it even gets out the door. That's my concern.
Yeah,
I don't want them
right.
to. I don't want them to come up with something and then they just don't do it because they're like, people won't understand it, as opposed to let's put it in and see how people receive it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see if they even do that. I mean, they may not actually change it.
It just scares me that I have to look forward to this after World First clears. Like a few weeks later, a nerf's coming down the pipeline. It kind of scares me,
And a lot of people take that as a reason to not try until a few weeks come. And then they're like, oh, it'll be easier in a few weeks. What the fuck do I care?
Yeah, so just wait on World First. After that,
people still do that with like gear and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, no, we're not going to attempt the next fight yet. We're going to grind some gear for a couple of weeks and then we'll come to it. I see a lot of groups do that anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that big a change in attitude. The people who are doing that are just going to have another reason to do it.
Pretty much, yeah. And the comment in chat, the nerfs feel like charity. I mean, in all honesty, the rating scene is
That's
pretty
exactly what they are.
Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely what they are. It's just the rating scene is still not very strong, and they were hoping Midas would revitalize it, and it has slightly, but it's still not where they want it to be. They want rating to be something people are excited to log in for, not that's something people are dreading to log in for, and that's still not really happening quite yet.
That's
so
a real shame.
They're trying to hit that point. They want to hit that point where it's exciting, and that goes back. The level 5 CEO said he preferred the coil way of things working. And Yoshi P did not
story to motivate you. You had unique gear rather than the gear just looking the same as normal mode.
Yeah, and Yoshi P actually for once did not say we will not rule out going back to that. This is the first time he hasn't definitively said we won't go back to one difficulty, whereas before he's always been like, if anything, we would do 3 difficulties.
He made the same points of, oh yeah, but casual players still ought to be able to do the story and stuff like that. But you're right, he didn't rule it out.
Completely rule it out, yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. We'll see if they go the route of, release the difficulty, make it like coil, and then story mode later. Which is another thing that people have suggested is, give them the story mode, just give it to them like way later down the line.
Sure.
And
but a lot of people are going to be unhappy about that bullshit.
Yeah, and the thing is, we say that it's that simple.
You're doing it backwards.
A lot of people will not be happy about that. But it also cuts out the item level aspect of it, where you have to go through the story version to get gear to go into the next version, which is the redundancy that people are arguing against.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair. That's another point the level 5 CO made. It's redundant to have to do these, to see all the bosses, then go, okay, what's going to be different now?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see where it's going to go. I think it speaks a lot to the motivations of Final Fantasy players versus, let's say, World of Warcraft players. They don't give a shit if a boss is spoiled before they go into Mythic, in World of Warcraft. It's like, who gives a shit? Like, whatever. In
Well, that's
this
interesting,
game,
isn't it? How many people really do care about the story and the lore in Final Fantasy XIV? I'm always surprised by the numbers.
That's the people that Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy people are very story driven. As someone who is a Final Fantasy person, very story driven. So I get it. I definitely get it. And then there was a few other things, like it being annoying when a boss changes form, how you drop target. They want to fix that. Yeah, it's a small little detail that's annoying. Adding the turn 9 music somewhere, the Calamity Unbound music to the ADS mount, little things like that. And this one I thought was interesting, adding accuracy settings to Stone Sky Sea.
Why?
I actually had someone take that a step further.
It makes sense, but we're like, again, you both said that this was kind of a quality of life thing that really it doesn't matter, but at the same time, for people who want to try to get into rating and try to test and see if they're making sure they're okay.
Oh, well, I think
it does.
If you're gonna do something like Stone Sky Sea, you may as well do it the whole way. And the thing is that you're being tested for fights that have accuracy caps, but you're not being tested with that proper accuracy cap in mind, are you?
Right.
I actually want to take it a step further because somebody suggested to me being able to do minimum item level Stone Sky Sea, which is where they basically say this is the item level we expect you to do it in the Duty Finder. Sure. This is the minimum item level, and you go in there, and if you can't beat it on that, it gives you an idea that you need, like, you will be able to beat it at this
People were already
level.
doing that before we even thought about this, though.
But I'm saying that in Stone Sky Sea, there is no, like, for Savage, there's not like a, hey, you can beat this in 210. Or you can beat this fight in 2:15. So,
but what I'm saying is we've kind of played around with the idea. We did Stone Sky Sea just for shits and gigs, and we're like, okay, I know I'm nowhere near the item level I need to be to beat it, but we beat it. Like just with you and us in A8, we would just test like for shits and gigs. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, I got close. Let me get a little bit more gear. That was kind of your way of figuring out where you should be gear wise.
Yeah, but I would like to see it where, because some people, they just jump up like a giant item level and then they beat it with like, God knows how many seconds to spare. And they don't know what like the developer's expected item level was. If the developers give you an expected item level, and
then you can actually test your skill rather than just testing your gear.
Yeah, and it outright tells you, hey, I was unable to beat this at this item level. And this is the item level they say I absolutely should be able to beat this fight in. I should be able to meet the checks in this gear for this fight. Outside of other people exceeding that amount, how can I improve to reach that number?
Yeah, so you're not just blaming it on gear.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd like to see that. Yeah, I figure if they're using features like Stone Sky Sea, don't half do it. You may as well make it as good as it can be.
Give them every tool possible. If you're gonna do that, instead of giving us like legit things, give us every tool possible.
I just think it's a meh idea.
Meh.
But that's just because you're not going to use it.
I already did.
I don't know. I think it'll be useful for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I mean, it is useful. It does have its uses, but going back to what y'all said. This is a feature that really you're not going to get a lot of use out of, coming from the table, the round table here.
Yeah, coming from us, sure, but talking about like the average player, I think a lot.
We're
of
not
people
the round table.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a round table conversation.
The three of us are not like a decent representation of the average Final Fantasy XIV player, I don't think.
Yeah.
I love this tweet. I was going to be productive. I ended up watching Ethys bitch about water on State of the Realm. I love it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh, by the way, I have that Slyh gif. I mean, that Slyh image for everyone who's wondering. And here it is. That is a beautiful image right there that I got of Slyh. I would love to see that as an emote on his channel. That's all I can say right there. I can't wait till it catches up. There we go. I would love to see that as an emote on
That is excellent.
Sly's channel. That is a great face right there.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh man, the perfect freeze frame. On that note, I think we've covered pretty much everything that's going to be in this fucking show that we call State of the Realm. I think.
Oh
What
dear.
is memes on the screen?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. All right. Anyway, I think it's about time that we signed off and let Ethys go on with his day since we woke him up and he's so cranky.
Let me go back to bed. Ugh.
Yeah, Ethys, why don't you tell them where they can find you before you go back to bed, and don't say in your bed.
So you can find me at youtube.com/EthysAsher for lots of fun Final Fantasy XIV lore-centric goodies and other things. And you can find me on Twitter at Ethys, FFXIV, as you can see there with my... I don't know what their face is. What's the context of that? Are we still talking about water? I look very upset.
I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Anyway, Slyh, where do the people know where you are and how you do?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Slyakagreyfox. You can find me on Instagram at Slyakagreyfox07. You can find me on Twitter at Slythefox. You can find me on Behemoth Plot 14 Ward 5 with Lavender Beds as Fox Slyh. You can find me on Mateus as Slyakagreyfox.
Oh man, I love that the faces are becoming a thing now. I just need one for me. Actually, have you guys seen Winky Face?
Seen what?
Winky Face?
No.
All right.
No.
It was from last week with
the wink.
Your wink.
Oh, the wink emote.
Yeah, the wink
you
emote.
captured
That's
it.
mine. That's mine. All right. And I am your other host, Michael, Mr. Happy Poveromo. You can find me everywhere, Mr. Happy 1227, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all that good stuff. I need to get all this taken off my face and my head.
Good stuff.
Oh, good stuff. Oh, yes. Oh, if I do say so myself, Brian.
Oh god, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, he does a pretty decent Stewie.
It's a pretty decent Stewie.
Yeah, pretty decent. It's all right. I don't have a face for it yet, though.
All right.
So it's all right. We're good. All right, so we're going to wrap up, and we're going to go into post-show. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll be back next week with some more bullshit that you'll listen to, hopefully.
Some more bullshit.
Yeah. And Ethys will... And
Brilliant!
well, I haven't
Excellent.
written the script yet, so I don't know what's on it. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
going
gonna be some bullshit, and you chumps will listen to it anyway. See you next week.
Some bullshit. That's it. I mean, until I write it, I don't know what it is. So until then, it's bullshit. All right? Maybe I'll make
Y'all
Sly
are
do
really
it.
selling this show, guys. Great job.
Bye. Bye-bye. Oh shit.